Mike Buck here with AK Sled Shed. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry to say that winter is pretty much over and it's time to clean our gear up and put it away for the summer. We spend a lot of money on this equipment and we want to make sure that it lasts us for years and years. So if you take good care of it, it will last you. So there's a few things I want to talk about today and things that I do to make sure my gear is in good shape for the summer and put away properly. You want to spend some time doing it. You know, it really takes me pretty much a full day to get all my gear out, go through it, dry it out, get it prepped for the summer and put it away. The first thing you want to do is take good care of your machine. Go over it really close and make sure there's nothing damaged or needs repaired. You might need to order some parts or that sort of thing over the summer. Get that stuff coming in so you'd be ready to put it on in the fall and be ready to go. I usually go through and lube everything, give it a good grease job. I spray silicone spray on all the moving parts and a lot of the stuff under the suspension, around on the skis, so that in the summertime you don't end up with corrosion on your part. So that's a really good thing to do. I love the silicone spray, it works really well. So anything that moves, spray silicone spray on it, and that'll help protect it. You want to get all your gear off your machine. I took my BCA radio off of my pack, and I want to make sure I charge that up for the summer and stash it on a shelf. In fact, I may use it in the summer even. I take my crevasse rescue gear off my machine and I make sure that I pull it out of the dry bag. You don't want to leave it in a dry bag all summer. Get the rope out and make sure that's hung in a nice dry spot so you don't get any mildew buildup or mold on anything. And all of your prusik cords and webbing straps, hang those in a nice dry place as well. So basically just take everything out of the dry bag and hang it up someplace out of the way. My spare tank on the back, I usually make sure that's empty and stash it away somewhere in one of my sheds, so it's good to go. Wipe it down maybe with a little 303 cleaner or Armor All, that sort of thing. And my bag on the back, my tunnel bag, I'll take the shovel off of that and kind of take the shovel apart a little bit and make sure I spray silicone spray on all these little buttons, because sometimes those can corrode or rust. So you want to make sure that you just kind of spray the whole thing down, wipe it good with silicone spray. And then inside of my bag, I've got a lot of equipment, and I had a video on all the equipment that I carry with me. Take everything out of your bag, because stuff gets damp in there and you don't want mold buildup. So I take everything out of here and put it on a shelf. Some of the stuff I lube up. I get my tool kit out and make sure that I pull all the tools out of my tool kit and put silicone spray on those, wipe them down, make sure there's no rust or moisture in there for the summer, because those can really go bad and you end up with ratchets that aren't working and that sort of thing. So take really good care of your tools. They're expensive. I've got clothes in here, my little survival kit. All this stuff comes out and gets put on a shelf someplace where it can stay dry. And then the bag, I usually pull it off the machine, wipe it out on the inside, and stash that away as well. And my handlebar bag, I take everything out of that. Also make sure that stays dry. And I leave it actually on my machine because I've got wiring in there, so it's a little bit of a pain to take it apart. But I make sure I got my cover and all that on so it stays dry. But everything should come out of it. Hopefully we're not going to need our face masks anymore. But when you go to remote villages, you want to make sure that you have that on you. Cord, that sort of thing. You want that stuff to dry out. Your hand warmer packs, some sunscreen I had for spring riding on the glaciers. batteries, pull those out. My Leatherman, I want to make sure that that's lubed up so it doesn't rust. I've got a couple of headlamps that I carry, and I want to make sure I take the batteries out of those for the summer, because those, as you know, can corrode and causes problems. So you want to make sure you pull the batteries out of anything that has batteries in it. You can pull the battery out. My InReach, I use this in the summertime when I'm doing backcountry trips, hiking or biking, that sort of thing. So I'll pull that out and charge it up and get it ready to put in my summer bags. And then in my dash bag up here, I've got my gas gloves. I want to make sure I air those out really good, and maybe even wash them. Extra face mask needs to come out and get washed. And saw, good idea to wipe it down again so it doesn't rust up. So I brought my storage box in from my trailer, and this has all my riding gear in it, and I want to make sure that I pull this stuff out of here and wash as much of it as I can. It gets smelly and nasty over the course of the season. You want to get this stuff cleaned up as best you can, and put it back in here for storage. And usually, I've got my Arctic gear. I want to make sure that I wash that all up, get the smells out of it. Gauntlets, I can wash those. My bibs for my Arctic gear, hats, face mask, extra jackets, my regular riding shell coat, all that stuff, gloves. You want to wash all your gear, and then when I put it back in, I leave the box open just a little bit so it can have some air circulation in there, so there's no condensation or whatever. And I usually throw a couple dryer sheets in there. I don't know, it seems to help, I think, with the smell, to keep everything kind of fresh for the next season coming up. I've got some extra straps in here. I want to make sure all that stuff is dry. So I pull everything out and make sure the box is nice and dry, and put everything back in dry. I've got beacons in here. There again, I want to pull batteries out of my beacons so that I don't have any corrosion build up if a battery would happen to start coming apart. My harness for glacier travel, make sure that stuff is good and dry. Extra face mask, gloves. Like I say, I'm basically pulling everything out. I'm going to wipe the box out, make sure it's good and clean and dry. Everything that I wash is clean and dry, and then I can stick it back in here and like I say, leave it propped open just a little bit, and it'll be good to go in the fall. And I hope you all had a great winter. I know I did, and hope to see you out there on the snow again next year. Thanks for tuning in.